Hey y'all, what is up? My name is Belle and this is the Belle Perspective, and today we're reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville, the season finale, The Cold and the Beautiful. But before I get into my thoughts, I'm going to ask you to do what I always ask you to do before we get into it. Hit that subscribe button for me, okay? We're at 49 subscribers, y'all, and my goal is to get to 50. So I'm one subscriber away. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about today's or Saturday's episode, because I know I'm late, y'all. And tell me what you think about the commentary, okay? Let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so the episode starts off with Mel and Stormy meeting up. So Mel is at her house getting a private massage and Stormy meets her there. I'm going to be honest with you. This scene was rather staged. It was quite influenced by production. It felt very awkward. I did not necessarily appreciate this particular scene, but this is what we've got. This is what we have to talk about. Okay, so Stormy gets to the house. Mel's laid out on the table. She's getting a massage. Stormy's asking her about the trip with Martell and Destin, and Melody is telling her that it went really well, but it was after the trip that all hell broke loose, right? So Stormy then says, well, girl, what's happening? You know what happened? Mel then proceeds to tell her that Martell not only told the mother of his child that she was diagnosed with C19, he also called Mel by the mother of his son's mother of his son by her name, trying to avoid not saying that name. And so Mel was like, see, I don't do that. And so then his son's mother goes onto the internet, blasts the fact that she has C19, blasts the fact that Martell, in fact, did say and tell her, hey, you know, I accidentally called Mel your name, and so she's pissed at me. And I'm like, Martell, I understand the fact that you told her that she has C19. The children are together, they're playing together, that's a potential exposure. You know the guidelines. So I get that part. But what I don't understand is why you felt like you needed to go back and tell that lady that you had accidentally got names mixed up. You messy, Martell. And see, this is why I'm gonna go on my rant a little bit later on, but I'm gonna say what I've always been saying, that Melody does not need to be on this show any longer. It does not serve her. I can't see how she could actually really be healing and getting the healing that she needs when she's constantly near the stove that burned her. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand how that's possible. What I feel like Melody is even more upset about, on top of the fact that baby mama is blasting her C19 business, I think she's even more upset about the fact that he accidentally called her his baby mama's name. That's just like reminding her of all the foolishness that she went through with him. And I just think she needs to sever ties and go on about her way. Okay, Martell at the wine event, or setting up for the wine event. According to Tisha later on in the episode, this is the perfect venue. It gives you the perfect bird's eye view of the city of Huntsville. It's really pretty. It does look nice. For some reason, Mel Nika is no longer available. Quiet as it's kept. I feel like she got in trouble with her husband and he snatched up off the TV. We'll see how that goes. And Destiny and Chris show up to the event to just help Martell out. I think they just come to film a scene with him, but he says they come to help out. Whatever. Okay. So Destiny talks to him basically about Melody. Doesn't really talk, but she's stirring the pot. She shows a video of Melody speaking on him dating Sheree, because everybody knows that he's dating Sheree at this point. I use that in quotation marks because him and Sheree is a sham, scam, scheme that Ty set up to come to us with the bullshit. That is exactly what Sheree and Martell get. Okay, I don't have no respect for Martell, and I don't have no respect for Sheree for doing this, and I damn sure ain't got no respect for Martell. So whatever. So anyway, Destiny brings up the video, shows him, and then he goes and decides that he wants to get upset and deflect and say, well, how dare she talk about my relationship? It wasn't even that serious, Martell. She didn't say anything that was out of pocket. She basically said, I don't give a damn what Martell doing. That's his business. That's literally what she said. And I don't understand how he got upset. I feel like he's trying to deflect. He's saying, oh, as many people as Mel brings around my kids and all these other things, you know, and I don't say anything. Meanwhile, he gets into the confessional and says that he has no problem with letting Sheree be around his kids. Now, Sheree ain't never met Melody. Melody don't know nothing about Sheree. This is a brand new girlfriend that you don't even know her like that. But you feel comfortable letting her around your kids. Martell, you talk outside of both of your neck, and I can't do Martell. I can't even listen to him sometimes. It sounds like nails on a chalkboard. Just listening to him just irritates me to my core, and I just can't do it. Let alone be married to him for 14 years. I was like, Melody, how, girl? He is for the birds, girl. When I tell you he for the birds, Ariane, he for you, girl. He is for you. And Sheree, he for the birds, girl. He is for the birds. Okay, so mind you, let's back up a little bit about Chris, because in the episode before that I skipped, y'all. Why did I skip? I skipped it because I was just bored. Chris talks to Martell about how him and Marceau were in Atlanta, right? And Marceau used Chris basically to say that, hey, you know, I wasn't in, we remember Big Back Gate, right? Big Back Gate. So Marceau basically tells Tisha, you know, I was in Atlanta with a friend. That friend's name was Chris Fletcher. Mind you, Marceau is dragging this thing out, taking a long time, putting in all the suspense on who that friend was that he was in Atlanta with. Chris decides to tell Martell specifically, which again, I'm like, you gonna tell messy Martell that, yeah, I was in Atlanta with Marceau, but he and I only were there for 2 hours. I don't know what else he was doing the rest of the time. And I'm like, okay, so I'm wondering if Chris is gonna have that same conversation with Marceau later on in the episode. We'll get to that. So then we get to Tisha and Marceau. So Tisha's trying to pick out clothes for her and Marceau to prepare to go to Martell's wine event. And the funny thing about it is, she was like, I really want us to dress up. I want us to be coordinated. Child, when they got to the event, they still look mismatched and random. I was like, what was that? Anyway, so Marceau brings up the fact that Martell is dating Sheree, and a lot of people think that Marceau was saying that Sheree is a level up from Mel. I don't think he was comparing Mel and Sheree. I think he was comparing Sheree to Ariane. That's who I think he was comparing, the level up. Like he said, when she dated down, he was talking about Ariane ain't got nothing going on. Not to say, you know, that doesn't mean that makes her less than. It's just, you know what I'm saying? And then Sheree is this, you know, she's on Real Housewives of Atlanta, all this other stuff, right? She's got this beautiful house. She's got a lot going on. So I feel like he was talking in reference to Ariane and not Melody. And he was basically saying that he feels like Mel feels threatened. And I'm like, why do y'all keep bringing Mel into this? Now here, let me just say this for the people in the back. I am not a Mel fan at all. I don't too much care for her personality. I don't like her, period. I think she's fake, phony, fraudulent. But when it comes to Martell, I have to ride with Melody every time. There is nothing that Martell can do that will make me not be on Mel's side. Just period. Because I know how Martell gets down, and I can't. For my sanity, whatever she said he did that shit. Okay, whatever she said he did. So he did that shit. Yeah, so for Marceau to be saying that, yeah, I really feel like Mel really truly is bothered by him dating Sheree. First of all, Martell been dating women. And I remember her distinctively saying that Martell had dated women while they were married, specifically Ariane, and then probably some other nameless women as well. So she is familiar with Martell being in the street. And on top of that, Sheree ain't did nothing to her. Like, if Sheree is dumb enough to fool with Martell after it has been broadcasted on national TV how dunce he is and how ineligible he is as a partner, that is on Sheree. I remember my ex-boyfriend, right? A little bit of a story time. You right? You gonna get it. I had an ex-boyfriend, right? I'm gonna call him Clarence. I won't put his name out there. His name was Clarence. I just call him Clarence, right? Me and Clarence was dating, right? Clarence, and this is when I was a young girl, so I was on some young girl shit. Okay, I was really on some young girl shit. Oh, young gal shit is what I like to call it. So I was really on some young gal shit. So I was dating this guy, and this man could never keep a job, y'all. Could not keep a job. I remember one time, and this is after he and I broke up, I found out that after he gotten a promotion, he literally quit his job, lied to me, and told me he ended up getting fired just for me to continue to support him. This was coming to the part where we were about to like really just end. Couldn't keep a job, and not because he was not qualified and couldn't work. He was just lazy as hell and felt like music should have been his calling. You can have music being your calling, but you still have a 9 to 5. $0 as opposed to whatever you was making the minimum wage. Sweetheart, that's something, right? Bum ass dude, bum ass nigga. When I tell you bum ass nigga, right? So he breaks up with me. Okay, breaks up with me, and I was just like, after like a day or two, I was like, you know what? Yeah, we should be broke up, right? I don't want you. You trash. I feel so much better now. It's been 2 days. I feel wonderful that we're not together anymore. So he approaches me, comes up to me, and was like, you know, I know we've had words, we've exchanged words, but I still feel like we can make something happen. And I was just like, you know what? No, I think we should be broke up, right? So then months later, he ends up starting to date this other girl. Now, we all young, so we was in college, so we had to be around each other, right? So this other girl starts coming around. Mind you, he was probably already messing with that bitch before we even broke up. Quiet as it's kept, I do feel like he was messing with that bitch before we broke up. But that's fine. I don't give a good. So she come around, start acting awkward around me. I'm like, girl, I don't give a damn about this nigga that you fooling with, girl. You gonna find out he the same nigga that I was fooling with too, girl. You gonna be working and you gonna be taking care of his ass. I was looking at her like, girl, I don't give a good goddamn what you do with that nigga. That's him. That's you. Go ahead, girl. Good luck, right? Like, no sis, you on your own, right? So she would come around with an attitude or try to like act like, oh, I don't want her to, oh, she's gonna be hating. People will come up to me and be like, oh, you know he's with you. I call her Gwendolyn. I don't know what her name, I don't remember her name at this point, but oh, you know Gwendolyn is dating Clarence now. How do you feel about that? I'd be looking at them like, if you knew the fuck up that Clarence was, I'd be thinking when I was seeing her edible arrangement, girl, go ahead, you can have him. And so every time I saw Melody and people kept talking about how do you feel about Martell dating Sheree? Girl, okay. Is Sheree stupid enough to date him? Good, they deserve each other. All the time I'd be like, oh, I think they deserve each other. Quiet as it's kept, I still do to this day, because he was lazy than a motherfucker, and I know she is too. Gwendolyn or whatever her name is, I know she is too, because I had a little whiff of her in college and how she operated. I was just like, child, they perfect for each other. Great, wonderful, love this. Good for you. I'm moving on. I was in my young gal shit at that time, but we're moving on. Okay. So that's how I know that's how Melody was feeling. I do not feel like she's feeling threatened by Sheree. Again, if Sheree is on this status, what the fuck does Sheree want with Martell? If she really was this like up here type of woman, really had her shit together. Women like that ain't checking for no goddamn Martell. No, it's bitches like Ariana with the bird brains, okay? The bitches that's for the birds, okay? That's fooling with Martell and giving him the time of day. So, baby, let me tell you something. If Martell and Sheree together, Sheree done had beautiful bean footage of his bullshit, and she's still with him. Male feeling, and I don't like the fact that they keep putting that on Mel. Like, do y'all realize that how he disrespected her? Do y'all remember he disrespected her? Like, why do you think she would still want him? Yikes. So anyway, I just felt like Marceau was just reaching. I feel like Marceau was mad because Mel basically made him feel like poo poo in that last episode. So now he has things to say about her, because he never, if y'all remember, he hardly ever had anything negative to say about Mel. Matter of fact, whenever he got the chance, he would try to big her up over his own wife. Whenever he got the chance, which is a whole nother tactic that Marceau uses to try to control Tisha, using her insecurities against her, because Tisha has some insecurities in connection to Mel. I don't think it's jealousy or anything like that. I think that she just likes that Mel is able to get up and go. She's a lot more fearless than Tisha is. There's a couple things that go on. She speaks better. She has a better speech pattern. Like, there are things that Tisha is, whether she admits it or not, she is insecure about, and Marceau uses that against Tisha on a regular. Child, Tisha, girl, it's time to wrap his ass up and throw him back to the street as well. But anyway, so we get to the wine event. Child, I had to fast forward through that bullshit ass speech. I was so like, I felt like, I know you used to pay people. I know you used to flirt with the girls so you can get your homework done, because I know for a fact you didn't do well in school. Not on your own, okay? I had to fast forward. I just couldn't. The secondhand embarrassment, the way it was just, I had to wrap it up real quick. And if that's what Sheree want, girl, more power to you, girl. Okay, moving on. Give him somebody else to fool with so I can go on. I know that's how Mel feel. Give you something else to do so he can move on and go on be somebody else's problem. Okay, I just said it all the time. I was like, girl, I don't give a fuck what he doing, child. He's somebody else's problem, girl. That's her business. Okay, so the girls meet up again. I told you that Marceau and Tisha showed up looking random and regular as hell. I know. I'm like, girl, Tisha, what you putting this outfit together, girl? Y'all still look random and regular, but whatever. So I like Tisha. I think she's an absolutely gorgeous woman, but girl, get rid of him. That's what you need to do. Anyway, so Tiffany is a white woman to me. She's a white woman personified. White woman, not even personified, just white woman emphasized, okay? She's the type of person who will throw the rock, hide their hand, right? Respond in a way that's irritating and then act like they don't know what's going on. Completely annoying. Tiffany, why the fuck are you asking these aggravating, obtuse ass questions that have nothing to do with you and none of your fucking business? So annoying. Next. Okay. So Destiny basically tells them her and Mel have basically come to they're cordial, they're not friends, they're not anything, they just say, hey, how you doing, and keep it moving, right? Now Stormy, Tiffany, Destiny, Tisha sitting around there like, ooh, is Mel coming? Why do you think Mel would come? Why? Did y'all see the beautiful bean footage of all of the times that Martell disrespected her? This man cheated on her for probably more than half of their marriage, had a baby on her with another woman, still carrying on to this day with this other woman, done called her hoes, talked about how many people she done slept with, and he's got some nerve, and y'all expect her to support him? It's the burden that y'all put on women that I just can't, that won't work for me, will not work for me. How did y'all put this burden on Mel after he disrespected her? If Mel decides to hold a grudge and spit on the ground that Martell walk on to the day he die, she have every right. If Mel decides to scoff at him, if he was on fire She has every right to do that until the day he stops walking this earth. Do you hear what I'm saying? I don't. And here's the thing about forgiveness. Charlie, y'all got me today. I'm on a rant today. Here's the thing about forgiveness. I don't believe in forgiveness. I believe in getting to a place emotionally where it doesn't hurt you, where it doesn't affect you, where it doesn't cause you to be irrational anymore. But I don't believe in letting that person off the hook. I don't believe in doing any of those things, because once you get to a place where you're emotionally stable about the matter, it's better for you. You're not harboring feelings. It's not getting you all worked up and causing you all this anxiety, fear, anger, all these different emotions that can be bottled up in your body. No, I feel like once you get to a place where it doesn't trigger you emotionally, which takes time, that's the place to be. But forgiveness, to let somebody off the hook, allow them back in your space, which was her problem, because he done got comfortable. And I'll talk about it later on, because we'll get into that foolishness of a train wreck of a conversation later on, or at the end of the episode. No, you need to get to a place where you're emotionally okay, but you don't got to be forgiven. I think forgiveness was, and again, I'm on a rant right now. I feel like forgiveness was indoctrination for us, especially black people, because we quick to turn the other cheek no matter how many times somebody disrespect us. We quick to turn the other cheek, but would they turn the other cheek? Absolutely not. You see it time and time again, and there's nothing wrong with protecting yourself. And protecting yourself means holding your ground, not keeping people back at bay. Just cause I don't have no problem with you don't mean you got to be in my space. Just because I'm not cussing you out or mad or angry don't mean you can come up in here and be and exist with me. Anyway, I won't go down that road, but I do feel like the burden that y'all place on women to be kind and nice to people, even if the people are spitting in their face and disrespecting them on a regular, is insane. They would never ask a man to do that. They would never ask a man to show up to the woman, to celebrate a woman who cheated on them or broke their heart or stole from them. They would never ask a woman to do that. Never ask a man to do that. Never. So anyway, for all them looking, where's Mel? What the fuck? Are you kidding? Stop. That's crazy. And then they were like, well, fuck that. Where's Sheree? Now that's the question you need to be asking, because the bird can come and celebrate with him. Okay, that's the woman who need to be there celebrating. Mel don't need to be celebrating. Oh, he don't deserve her. He does not deserve her. He deserves exactly what he getting with Sheree. Okay. So then, Marceau and Chris connect, and what I thought was kind of funny was the fact that Chris didn't bring up that he had only seen him for 2 hours in Atlanta and not longer, right? I thought that was funny that he kept that to himself. And then again, Marceau talking around in circles, I got these people asking all these questions that ain't none of their business. So, I had the suspense because I ain't want, nah, Marceau, something tell me in my spirit something ain't right. Something in my spirit tell me something in the milk ain't clean, but we'll see. And what I'm hoping is for Ariane to hear what he says about leveling up and leveling down, and I hope she exposed Marceau and that little girl that he fooling with. That is what I'm hoping for, because I know he's cheating. We all know it. We just waiting on it. Either Marceau paying his ransom bill on time, or she's married herself, and I feel like she's got something to lose, and I feel like she might be married herself, and so she not saying nothing. I feel like that's what it is. She got something to lose, and that's the only reason why the woman ain't came out, because baby, Marceau cheating. He just know how to do it better than Martell dumbass. Okay, so let's see. Marceau has a conversation with Chris. Then we move to Kimmy and Maurice. Kimmy gets there. Kimmy looks so pretty. Oh my gosh, she looks so gorgeous. Poor Maurice, he looks so tired and he looks scared and he looks disengaged. He looks tired and just poor. I felt so bad for Maurice. I know he's probably going through it and dealing with all the things, and both of them just having to deal with what they're dealing with. She actually ends up telling the rest of the cast that she is, that she's gotten breast cancer. Storm, they all fighting tears. I was fighting tears. Child, it was just, it was just hard. It was just hard. So then the next scene shows Marceau talking to Jalen. Jalen talks about how his mother has always been very much strong, and he's never seen her cry, and now that she's crying and she's vulnerable and she's in this weakened state, he doesn't know what to do. And baby, it was crying too. And what I say is that a broken clock is right twice a day. Okay, a broken clock is right twice a day. Marceau was right. You know, if you feel your feelings, feel them. Don't there's nothing wrong with crying. There's nothing wrong with feeling however you feel. Own them. Try to figure out where they're coming from, but feel those feelings. And that's probably the only time that I would ever agree. I don't know. Sometimes, again, a broken clock be right twice a day. Marceau sometimes be having good shit to say. The rest of the time, he just be talking outside of his neck too. So anyway. Okay, so we get to Melody and Martell, the last scene. Martell says he wants to talk to Melody about the kids and some other things of that nature. I hate when he say that. Things of that nature is his tagline to make it sound like he's smart, I guess. Or he's intelligent when he doesn't have anything else to say. And things of that nature. It's just so... Y'all can tell I don't like Martell. I can't stand his ass. Can't stand him. Can't stand him. And if ever I get a chance, I keep my foot on his neck. Okay? So anyway. Excuse me. So he comes. He pulls up. He gets up to the door. He's knocking on the glass. She opens the door. Hey, Martell, here's the bag for the girls. He was like, oh, I don't need no bag. I was just coming in to talk about a couple things. And I was trying to figure out, okay, so how did this meetup happen? Did she call him and say he's going to pick up a bag? How did this happen? Because it seemed like there was some confusion on both sides about what was actually to transpire when they got together that day. He was like, oh no, I want to talk to you about the kids and blah, 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 blah. You gonna let me in? She was like, no, Martell, you standing, it's outside today. He was like, oh no, don't disrespect me. Little girl, don't do that to me. I hate when he go to talking to her like she a kid. When she pull his car and make him feel embarrassed, baby, he go to this place where he cannot stand it, and he treats her, he starts talking to her like she's a child. And I'm like, Martell, as many times as you disrespected her, you have the nerve, child, if you don't go for... He was like, no, you don't do that to me. You don't do that to me. You will let me inside. I'm like, this is her house. She don't have to let you do... She don't have to let you do not a goddamn thing. The fact that you standing on this porch, okay? It's that the fact that you standing on the porch, that's good enough. So he decides he gonna get up. His pride's pricked. His ego is shattered. It's in a shambles. He goes down the stairs, right? He goes and gets in the car. He starts to drive off. I guess there was a breakdown because she goes back outside and she's calling him on the phone, and she was like saying, it sounds like she's talking to production. I don't even see him because I'm not going to be chasing after this man. I don't even see Martell. So it sounds like production was like, no, we're going to call him to come back. I need you to meet him downstairs, right? And it sounds like she was so angry, like, y'all telling me to come down, meet this fool. I don't even see him. That's what it sounded like. So he's driving back up. He's on the phone. He picks up the phone. She was like, Martell, when have I ever let you in my house? He was like, but that's not the point. I've let you in my house. She was like, Martell, I wouldn't care less if you didn't let me in your house, right? He says, but you invited me on that trip to Destin. I said, bingo. That is the problem. I said, Melody, and here's where I open up into another rant. Melody, I feel like women are constantly forced to try to be kind and nice and smart and important all the time with men who treat them bad. There is no reason why you need to be friends with Martell. He is the father of your children, right? But that does not mean y'all need to be friends. And the reason why I say y'all don't need to be friends is because he couldn't be a husband to you. Listen to what I'm saying here. Follow me with this, right? Relationships they have like levels to them, right? Levels of intimacy. We all know that, right? You have your platonic friends, your co-workers, the people that's down here, you know, they have little bits of intimacy. You don't hardly share nothing with them, nothing with transparency. As you grow to levels, whether it's platonic or whether it's romantic, and I feel to me that best friends and people who've known each other for a long time, people who've shared intimate relationships, not necessarily sexual, but intimate things that have happened, those are probably the highest form. And a lot of times the categories of relationships that fall into those are husband and wife, you know, things like that. If he could not respect Mel at the highest level of intimacy, how if he could not respect her at that high level, why, what relationship, what building blocks does she have to build with a friendship with him? She has nothing. There is nothing there. He could not even give her husband. So why does she need to try to be friends with him is what I'm trying to say to y'all, okay? Cordial, respectful, staying in her lane, keeping her boundaries, fine, so they can raise their kids. But as far as inviting him to the trip, no, because he wasn't going to do nothing but every time Martell shows you, you give him an inch, he takes a mile. You give him an inch, he takes a mile. You give him an inch, he takes a mile. He don't respect you. He thwarts your boundaries anytime he can. He upends your boundaries anytime he can because he wants to control you. He wants to tell you what you can and cannot do. Why he run the street and do whatever the hell he want to do. So I at this point, I don't understand why Mel is still on this show. Is there a way for her to still be able to collect the coin and be in the background? Is there a way for her to be able to collect the coin and pop in here and there, like every once in a while, be a friend of the show? But I don't understand why she still need to be fooled up with him, because I don't understand how she can really truly get healing when she's constantly engaging in these immature ass, ignorant ass, aggravating ass, emotionally charged arguments with Martell raggedy ass Holtz. So the Martell then comes back. He's arguing with her, telling her, you know, I've let you come inside. Why are you not letting me come inside? She's basically saying, listen, I'm not finna, you know, even he's like, oh, you invited me on a trip. I don't understand why you doing this. That was her problem. She should have never let him get close. If you gonna have boundaries, keep them boundaries all the time. Do not let them waver. Keep his ass at bay. Don't touch him with a 10-foot pole, okay? He couldn't treat you right when y'all was married. He damn sure can't treat you right as no friend, okay? So, then they start talking, and she was like, you don't want me, Martell mouth. I don't want you. You don't want me. So I don't know why we can't just sit back and I'm like, now wait a minute. She was like, Martell, you talking about you don't want me? You was just saying last week, oh Mel, you know we soulmates. Oh Mel, you know we supposed to be together. Martell, you know you's a goddamn lie if you gonna sit up here and tell her that that's not what happened. Martell, you's a goddamn lie. I know. And the reason why I know you's a goddamn lie is because you was at the vacation talking about something. This is Mel came. Mel, this is our vacation is about the kids, but it's also about me and Mel too. And then he also talked about in the last episode that I didn't review or didn't record, was how Mel showed up to Maurice and Kimmy's house to have dinner dressed in white, and this is and I always have to use this voice with him because he just be sounding so goddamn stupid. So goddamn stupid. And this is me and Mel's would have been our 14-year anniversary, and she showed up in white. I thought that was pretty symbolic. Martell, you are psycho. You are absolutely psycho. Okay, so you absolutely do say these things to Mel. There is no way that you're not gonna tell me that you don't. What you want, Martell, what you want Mel to be is your home base. You want to be able to say these things to her, so she'll sit and wait around for you while you run the streets, and she can come home and be comfortable, and you can come back to her whenever you're in the mood to feel like being back in playing house. Okay. It's craziness. And Mel, I'm gonna have to get on you too, sis, because guess what? if you're above Martell, you're above it all, you wouldn't even want to be on this show no more, because you would know I am not fucking with this psycho. I'm not doing this shit no more. But she still got that petty in her, and she ain't got no problem hopping on that petty train right along with Martell. And that's why I'm like, girl, you giving him entirely too much energy. I would have been quit the show and been like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, who's next? Okay, that would have been me. That's personally scorched earth, move the fuck on, go about my way. That's personally how I would have done it. You gotten enough followers that everybody loves you. All these people follow you. They really don't question you. So you really can build a base and do something else somewhere else. Child, it's a mess. It's a mess. So then she confronts him and basically says, you know, Martell, this is a problem because you went back and told your baby mama that I had C19. You revealed my medical records, which I'm like, Mel, you stretching it now. You stretching it. But then we'll come to find out that Ariane also shared that Martell told her that he had gotten the names mixed up. I was like, Martell, now you want to pit, you want to start some mess. That's what you want to do. You want to start some mess, and yes, you deserve. It is your responsibility. You brought this girl into their lives. You ruined your marriage with this young lady. You have enough. She do what you say. She'll do what you tell her to do, because you wouldn't be fucking with her if she didn't do that. You don't fool with women who you can't control. You don't fool with women who won't listen to you and do what you say, right? So I know you got control over her. So Martell, you absolutely do have responsibility and can take responsibility for doing what you did. But you won't, because you're not no grown man. You a little child. You a little boy, and you ain't never take responsibility for nothing in your whole entire life. And that's your problem. That's your problem. But anyway, so Mel was like, you know, you spread my business, and you're responsible for this. You brought this girl up into our lives, and this is what she's doing, and it's triggering. She was taunting me and bothering me and being disrespectful while we were married. You damn sure ain't finna bring that bitch in my life right now after I'm separated with your ass, which again, every time you let Martell into your life, girl, expect birds. Expect birds, because that's what he do. He for the birds, okay? Girl, honestly, she was like, Martell, I ain't got time. She was like, I'm gone. He was like, yeah, good, go. I don't want you with as many men as you been with. I almost got about my goddamn. I said, bitch, I know the fuck you lie. I know the fuck you lying. I know the fuck. Bitch, I know the fuck you lying. I know you lying. I know you lying. You sit up here, many men I've been with. Your motherfucking nerve. Girl, Martell. Martell, take you there. I see why Snapped is a show. Okay, Martell, I see why Snapped the show. Okay? Because Martell will take you there. He'll take you there. He will take you. He will take you there and drag you to hell, because that's what he want. That's where he at. He wants you to meet him there. Child, don't do it. Don't do it. Talking about as many men as you been with. What? I know you fucking lying. I know you lie. The audacity, baby. If you don't got nothing else. You got audacity. You ain't got no money for the light bill, but you got audacity. You don't have no accountability, no responsibility, no builder's license, but you got audacity. What? Anyway, girl, he take me there. I couldn't have been married. I couldn't have been married to him, child. Couldn't have done it. Couldn't have did it. Anyway, so wrapping up the show, she walks in. She's like, I don't know. I'm moving on with my life. Martell, and I'm not fooling with you. Child, shady ass production, baby. That show her doormat, when you walk in, it says H on it. I'm like, oh no, y'all being shady, because standing for whole. I was like, oh, okay, y'all being shady. Y'all shady as fuck. I see what y'all doing. I see what you're doing. But anyway, that is the end of the episode. I am so excited. I cannot wait to see this reunion, baby. It is going to be, I think it's going to be good. I don't know, you know how they like to do the bait and switch on you. But I really feel like this episode is going to be these three reunion parts are going to be really good. It's going to be shown on New Year's Eve. I, for one, won't be watching. I'll probably be doing something else. But when I get an opportunity, I will check in. We will be reviewing it. We will be talking about it. We got to wrap it up. We have to talk about it. Anyway, my name is Belle. This has been the Belle Perspective. And if you stuck around this long to this video, you might as well go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Again, I've got 49 subscribers. I'm looking for that magic number 50. Okay? Go ahead and get down in the comments and tell me what you think about the episode. What do you think about Martell? What do you think about Melody? Should she stay on the show? What do you think about Marceau and Chris, and how Chris said that he only was with him for 2 hours in Atlanta, but then bring that up to Marceau? What do you think about Kimmy and Maurice and Jalen and Tiffany and Destiny? Her messy self. Destiny, get your life together, girl. I don't know why you still on the show, girl. It's time for you to pack it up and go home too. Okay? And quiet as it's kept, I like Stormy and Courtney. So if we could swap out Lewis and Tiffany for Courtney and Stormy, chef's kiss. Let's do that. Anyway, get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. And as always, I will talk to you later. Take care.